virtual Ideal Year of Scouting program. We're glad you could join us this day. I'm Mark Dicken. I'm the Council Vice President for the program. Very glad that you're participating with us, and I would invite all of us to pause for a moment while I offer a word of invocation. Let's pray. God of all true scouts, we give you thanks for the gift of this day and for this opportunity to do important things that have been done for years, but now we need to do in a different way. We pray for all of the Cubs and the Scouts and their adult leaders as they serve so diligently and seek to be better Scouts in challenging times. We pray for those who are suffering from this disease and for other medical reasons. We especially want to pray for those who are working in essential industry, those who are the first responders, those who are the heroes of our nation during this challenging time. Lord, keep them safe and encourage them. Encourage all of us and bless our time together. Amen. Well, now I'd like to invite Luke Schweiker, Chief of the Cayuga Lodge of the Order of the Arrow, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Scout Oath, and the Scout Law.
All right, would everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Please join me in the Scout Oath and Law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Just a few announcements as we prepare to move into the meat of our meeting. The first is if you have connected through Zoom, just a housekeeping word. We encourage you to keep your microphone muted until you need to speak, so that any noise in the background, wherever you may be, does not create a distraction for others. Again, thanks for joining us for the first ever virtual Ideal Year of Scouting. We're all beta testers on this. So a reminder that if you have questions during the meeting, you've got a couple of ways that you can raise those questions. The first is, if you are on Zoom, if you'll check your screen, you'll see that there are 3 dots on my device. It's in the upper right-hand corner. If you click on that, those 3 dots, you'll see a drop-down menu and it says chat. And so when you enter in chat, you can ask your questions. Members of our council staff will be monitoring this so that we do our best to not leave any questions unanswered. If you're watching on Facebook, you can post a comment there as well. And we'll answer questions throughout our time together. And there will be a time for questions and answers at the end of this. Another reminder, the Scout Shop is open by appointment only. You can call or email your order to the council office and then schedule a time to pick it up, or the staff can arrange to ship it to you. Our Buffalo Trace Council staff has been working very hard, but they've been working from home. whenever it's possible. And that's going to continue for a while. The office is not going to be open to the public unless you have an appointment with the Scout Shop. We are recording this meeting, and the full recording will be available on the Ideal Year of Scouting webpage on the council website for anyone that's not able to join us this evening. And the resources we talk about this evening are all going to be available on the buffalotracecouncil.org Ideal Year of Scouting pages. So we're going to jump right in with a quick video about scouting at home.
Right now, life has us keeping our distance.
Can you guys hear that?
Yes, I could.
Okay. Sorry, technical difficulty there.
Right now, life has us keeping our distance, but there's never been a more important time to come together. Our culture is one of perseverance and determination. Our foundation is that of always being prepared. When you think about it, we've been preparing for times like these for over 100 years. We've been pioneers, adventurers, helpers, scouts. Nothing can stop us. You got this.
And scouting continues. So now I will invite Mark Parker to give us information about the work of our commissioners.
Good evening. I'm Mark Parker, Assistant Council Commissioner, filling in for Kevin Aker, who was not able to make it today. Abby, if you'll throw up the slides.
Just a minute.
Just what Kevin wanted me to cover was to go over some of the key points when we're setting up to use Zoom meetings for any sort of meeting. There is a longer PowerPoint if you wish to get it. Somebody will be able to have it. We'll get it to you if you want it. But these are some of the key points. You can conduct a live chat across different platforms. It doesn't matter if you're on a PC, a Mac, on a tablet, or on a cell phone of whatever make or model. You can use this software. You can use the easy sharing of the screens during the calls. You can even hold brainstorming sessions. Zoom has a built-in whiteboard feature, which comes in handy when you have multiple people working with each other. You can record those and write them down on the screen for everyone to see them. You can even break out into smaller meeting rooms. I would say for like troops, they could do that for patrol meetings and then bring them back in real quick. You can, again, broadcast to the different platforms. Access meeting analytics and reports for afterwards to see actually who's been here, how many people have been on, how long they were on. So you can see and follow up with people afterwards if you need to. This is a free platform for up to 100 people for 40 minutes. And it sounds like I heard earlier that there was a meeting that went on quite a bit longer. They jumped to another platform and then came back to Zoom. So you can cover about everything. Okay, Abby. But please remember, when you're working in the Zoom meetings, as with anything involved with our youth, you must follow the youth protection principles. It is critical to the successful use of Zoom for virtual scouting. Use these tips when setting up a Zoom meeting, please. Password protect your meetings. That way no one else but those that are supposed to be in the meeting can get in. Authenticate the users through the Zoom system. Lock them down. Use the waiting room so you can screen people before they come in. Turn off participant screen sharing when you start the meetings and when they come in. And if you have youth participants, you're not supposed to be recording the meetings. And again, also remember you need to follow the 2 adult rule. Again, there is a longer presentation. It goes into much more depth. We were just wanting to cover the main parts so that we can facilitate a better use of this software platform. That's all I have tonight, so I'll turn it back.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark. And again, remember, there are a couple of ways. Use the chat feature on Zoom or comments on Facebook Live if you've got questions for Mark and the commissioners in our council. I'd like to invite Michael Richard to speak to us with us regarding membership.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Richard. I'm the District Director for Lincoln Heritage District, and I'm the staff advisor for our membership committee. And we're going to talk about a few different things this evening. Abby's going to be bringing up a presentation real quick for us to see, so that way, as I talk about it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Real quick, guys, just want to let you know that Facebook Live keeps cutting out. I've tried to restart it multiple times and it's not working, so not really sure what that's about.
Okay. Well, even though it's really a crazy time we're going through right now, it's hard to believe that it's May already, which means that the traditional fall recruitment starts in about 90 days. So barring unforeseen circumstances where school may be delayed, school's going to be starting back up in less than 90 days. With that, our council membership committee really wants you to help to start preparing for the fall recruitment and be as successful as possible. I'm going to go over 2 new tools that will be available for your units this fall and what you can do to start getting ready for the fall recruitment. The key in 2020 has to be safe, be flexible, and be committed. Next slide. The document you see here is a 12-point contact membership plan. In order to be successful, we're asking each Cub Scout pack to use this to help your pack prepare to get ready and encourage youth in your community to join. Each pack will be asked to review this document and decide on a plan of action within your pack of 12 different points of contact in your respective community. Studies have shown that that's roughly how many contacts potential parents have to have for scouting in order to understand, have brand awareness, and be considerate. This tool offers suggestions based on the level of your school access. So if you have good access, not great access, or no access at all, what your pack capabilities are, and most importantly, is a written plan so that way you can go over it with your pack committee, plan it, and commit to it. The next page, Abby has the other side of it. So on the left, there's different suggestions for things that you can do in your community. So we're still doing school talks and flyers and posters and yard signs and things like that. But there's additional things that you can do, and we are asking you to help us with to be able to fully get the message out of scouts that scouts signups will be coming up when they do. It also has opportunities for you to set your goals And then you can share it with all your parents and your leadership so they know exactly what's going on. Next slide, Abby. Also new this year is the Scout Leader's Guide to Fall Recruitment. This is about a 16-page document, and it's specifically made to help new member coordinators, Cub Masters, Scout Masters, or any adult interested in helping grow membership. This guide provides the tools needed to develop and implement a successful plan to invite all kids in your area to join your pack or troop. Some different things that are covered in it are fall timelines, promoting your units, school talks, a school night checklist, how to set up and run your join night with examples and plans. That's the question we get a lot, is how do I actually set up a recruitment night? So we give you examples on how to do that, how to set up an orientation for new families, October follow-up recruitment, and give you samples of how to fill out a youth and adult application that you can print off and have available, so that way you can, as a reference tool when families are filling out the applications, about what actually needs to be filled out. This guide is available now on our website, and it is valuable to both new and experienced leaders, and it's something you can come back to as well. Next slide. So some things that are coming up. You know, while as a council, we are going to give you the suggested timeline for fall recruitment. We know that things can change significantly within our schools in the next 4 months and beyond. It's vital that we're all as flexible as possible to adapt to any and all things that may come up as a result of these guidelines. With that being said, the following steps will be important for your unit to prepare for fall recruitment, regardless of if we have to change things due to school opening. It's going to be critical that the Cub Scout packs especially attend our council membership trainings to learn more about how to market your unit. We're going to be going over the documents that I just talked about, but also going in more in depth about additional marketing your unit can do, and the overall, all of the fall recruitment process. And more information about when and how those trainings will be available will be coming soon. It's important to now also to hold a unit or a parent committee to discuss all the different things that will go into a successful recruitment in the fall, and assign responsibilities to parents and leaders. That's where we hope that you'll use that 12-point plan to have a visual of what things you can do, and then commit to doing it. If you plan to have your recruitment night at schools, it doesn't hurt to start working now to reach out to your schools and let them know that, you know, we're hoping to have a recruitment night at your school in the fall. They may not be able to give you any confirmation with things because they may not know, but at least you're getting communication going. You also want to make sure that you are, whenever you commit to a plan, you are working on ensuring that you actually follow through with that plan. So that's something you can start doing now and through May and June. And then you also want to make sure when you get a hold of the schools that you're talking, if there's any open houses or any meet the teacher nights or anything like that, that if you can have a presence there, that's really critical if all possible. Next slide. When we get a little bit closer to school starting, you'll want to make sure that you attend our roundtable, your district roundtable, or other event if that has to be changed, and pick up your fall recruitment materials. This will have your applications and things like that in it, and all the things you'll need to have a successful and run a joint school night. You want to make sure that if you're having your event at your school or other location that's going to be unlocked and ready to join for that join night, then you'll actually conduct your join night. You'll make sure that you put everything that's needed back in your report envelope and turn it back into your district turn-in site. And then within 24 to 48 hours, you call each new family member and thank them for joining and answer any questions that they may have. You'll then want to make sure that you have an orientation meeting just for new families within 1 week of your join night. In September, like I said, assuming that school starts on normal schedule, throughout September, you'll want to make sure that each new adult leader completes youth protection training and basic training for their position. They won't be able to be registered until they take youth protection training, but we also highly suggest that they take a basic training for their position as well. And then once those items have been completed, then you can turn in the applications for the adults. In October, you want to make sure that all your DENs or patrols are meeting regularly. then you'll also want to check and see if you can do a second recruitment. So you'll distribute flyers at your school for any youth that you may have missed during that night, inviting them back into it. And then you'll want to make sure that you have a meeting prepared in October to recruit new youth into your unit and assign them to a den if possible. So again, we do have to be flexible with things, but it's a good start now to start preparing for the fall recruitment. The materials are going to be constantly updated on our website under our membership tab, and we'll also be sending them out other ways too. So please be on the lookout for those, and also our summer membership trainings that are coming up. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Michael. I want to share just briefly some information regarding advancement. Helping our Cubs and Scouts advance in rank does build their skills, builds their self-confidence, and instills values. And very importantly, it keeps them active in scouting. If a scout, a Cub or a Scout is advancing, we're going to have a much higher probability of retaining them in scouting. And in advancement opportunities continue in this time of social distancing and separation. We just have to do some things differently. There is a lot of information available to unit leaders, to parents, to Cubs, and to Scouts online to help them navigate these different waters. If you go to the council website, you'll see a nice big Scouting at Home link, and you click on that, and then from there, Abby, we got that screen? There we go. There you can see Scouting at Home. Put your arrow on that, your cursor, click on that, and that will lead you to another page that has information, and there's resources and information for Cub Scouts. Those are the ones in the red. So Cub Scout resources. To the right of that, Scouts BSA resources. And you can click on each of those and can get much more information on how you might do advancement during these times. There is also information for Scout leaders. And you can see some of the menu items that are available, including remote meetings or what you need to do with that. In these pages, there's also information, very important information, about how to apply for an extension of time to complete the Eagle Scout rank requirements. And I believe that there's also similar information for those that are working on the Summit Award in Ventures. This is designed, the National Council of Boy Scouts of America is aware of, under present circumstances, we may have a young person that's coming right up against their respective birthday deadlines, and there's information about how to apply for an extension of time for Scouts who may have difficulty completing those requirements or projects before their birthday deadline due to the COVID-19 situation. It has to be tied to that. We've our district advancement committees. I believe we've had at least 2 that have done virtual Eagle boards of review. So we're doing that. The information's out there, and again, scouting continues. We're just having to do it differently now. Has Jim Volker joined us?
I don't think so.
All right. Then Bill Knoll, can you give us some information from the Catholic Committee on Scouting?
Had to unmute myself first. Thanks, Mark. I want to thank John and Abby for this opportunity to talk a little bit about the Diocesan Catholic Committee on Scouting. First of all, the purpose of the Diocesan Catholic Committee on Scouting is to provide ongoing religious activities for the spiritual development of scouts and scouters in the universe in the Diocese of Evansville. The DCCS encourages and provides assistance to all scouts, but primarily Catholic scouts, especially those in Catholic units. One of the big things I wanted to do is to encourage or spread the word that to the other Catholic scouts that are in other units that are not sponsored by the Catholic Church, we welcome them in all of our activities and would encourage them to consider them. The other thing is our activities are open to all scouts, not just Catholic scouts. We've had many scouts that are not Catholic attend our retreats and faith days with their units. But any scout is available to come to any of our functions. Another point I'd like to make is in the Catholic Church, scouting is considered part of our youth ministry program. So we have great support by Bishop Siegel in the Diocese of Evansville, and also the Youth and Young Adult Ministry Department. So because of them, which we have a budget through them, we're able to do many programs and offer all these opportunities for the youth and for scouters. So I'd just like to touch base on a few of the events we offer every year. And so that if you have any Catholic scouts in your units, that you could put them on your calendar, at least think about them or make them aware of them. The first event we have coming up is in March 20th, we have a Scout Faith Day. Now last year in this Scout Faith Day, we had Cub Scouts, we had brownies, we had some daisies, we had some American Heritage Girls. So we opened it up to not only just the scouting units, but also those others that have similar organizations. Those organizations that did participate had units that were sponsored by Catholic organizations. So we have the Faith Day in February 20th. Then we also have a Scout Venturing Retreat, which we've had since my records go back to 1963. So we have it every year. And again, it's on March 5th to 7th, 2021. Again, it's open to everybody who would like to attend. We also have Catholic Adult Leadership Training, which we call Spiritual Formation. And that's going to be handled on March 6th and gives some adults some training in how to be work with youth and to promote spiritual activities in their development. The other thing we do is we promote and provide counselors for all the religious emblems in the Catholic Church. And we also have a special program called the Order of St. Dominic Salvio, where our older scouts, through service to the church related activities, they are recognized as, and they wear, actually it's very similar to the OA, except it's involved in the church. And so it's a service organization dedicated to the church and helping other scouts in their spiritual development. So that's just a brief go through, but this information is on the website, and so you can refer to that. But even more importantly, we have a website called www.evdccs.com. And on that are all the information, all the programs we have, forms needed to get involved in the religious emblems, and many other links to supporting organizations. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much.
You're muted, Mark.
As I said simply to myself, if it's scouting, then there will be popcorn sales involved. And I believe Jamie's got some information for us about popcorn.
I do. Thank you, Mark. So, believe it or not, it is almost time for our popcorn sale to begin again. Michael was talking about membership earlier, and popcorn sales hopefully will be a big topic of discussion when you're putting your budget together and planning for these new scouts that join in the fall. As with any sale, we're going to have some changes, but we're going to continue starting off with our Popcorn University and Council Popcorn Kickoff on Saturday, August the 15th. We'll have more details to come on that soon. And we are going to have a special guest speaker that not only the adult leaders will want to be present for, but your scouts will want to see this speaker as well. And more information coming on that. Sale begins on Saturday, September the 26th. And popcorn chairs should begin receiving emails from Trails End and may have gotten one today to commit to sell in the Trails End system, similar to how it was done last year. Please take a minute to do this, or if you're not the popcorn chair, pass it along to the person who is. We look forward to a great sale in 2020 and more to come soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. And now Abby's got a couple of announcements regarding Cub Scout Day Camp and our resource camp.
Yes, so after much research and debate, we have decided to postpone day camp. We plan to have Cub Scout Day Camp hopefully in July. We're looking at maybe doing a Friday night, Saturday camp. We're throwing some ideas around to see how we can best accommodate it. This really came down to one, Native Trails Day Camp usually has 300 to 400 people on property, and that's not going to be acceptable at this time. And two, we found that we were not going to be able to get our hand washing stations, and it was going to be difficult to get sanitation, things like hand sanitizer and cleaner, to make sure that we run the safest camp we possibly can. So keep a lookout for that. We will be announcing our new day camp plans soon. And for resource camp, because it was supposed to start at the end of May, that is going to be canceled for this year, so we can keep our scouts and our volunteers safe.
Thank you, Abby. Fred Hassman has some information. If you have not heard of it already, we've got something coming up this Saturday we're calling Cabin Fever, a virtual Camporee.
Yes, and it's going to be a really exciting event. We've got about 250 participants so far that showed up. And let me share my screen so we can actually show you a few things that are going on. If I can, let's see. Nope, I'm not able to. Okay, well, real quickly, we've got a full day ahead that starts at 8 a.m. If you want to, it's still time to register. So get your scouts to register. We can have up to 500 to 1,000 scouts if necessary. So we'll make it happen if we do. We start off with a flag ceremony. We start, and then we go into. We also have a Brian or Byron Douglas from a local weather celebrity will be giving us a weather report just to make sure that we're not going to have any tornadoes or hurricanes. So he'll be there. He'll start that off. We've got flag raisins and things like that, and then we go into a quick cyber chip program, which is a which is grade related, and so we'll have that set up for all the scouts. Scouts are going to be building their own campsite. We've got a scavenger hunt that's going on. We've got some projects that the scouts can actually make different things using recycled plastic, recycled bottles and jugs. Then we have a session about making face masks and washing your hands properly. Another thing we have is Adam White is going to give a demonstration on how to make the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that should be interesting. And we're going to try to do a lot of this stuff. It's all through Zoom, but we're going to try to do some Facebook Live if we can as well. And then we're going to have lunch, and then there's a time period for the scouts to have play games with their families. And then the whole thing is throughout the whole day, the scouts can actually take pictures of what they're doing. They can actually do things, take videos and things like that, so that we've got sites for them to enter their videos and their pictures, so that at the end of the day we can actually show them all. Because after lunch we've got some games, we've got some weird experiments that scouts are going to be able to do. Then we separate out on 2 sessions about 3:30, and we'll have a first aid session, and then we also have a scouting history session that scouts can decide to do. Then, of course, the 12-pointed Scout Law is Scout as Reverence. So we have an interfaith service that's going to be really, really good to do, to be involved, to see. And then we have a cooking competition. And this is kind of a little different, because this cooking competition is set up where the scouts can make their own meals and the families actually judge them. And then we'll go from there. And then after the cooking competition, we will have a service project that the scouts are going to do for about an hour. And then we'll have a campfire. And the campfire is going to have skits that scouts are already submitting videos for. We're going to have pictures. We're going to have a review of what happened throughout the day. We've got a really strong team that are going to be putting those videos and those pictures together into a presentation. So during the campfire, we'll be able to do that. Another really, really awesome thing is we've got quite a few videos from congressmen, senators, the Thunderbolts, the Evansville Otters, and those are all like 1-2 minute videos that we'll be showing throughout the day. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really cool. We've had a really good team working on it, and so please, convince anyone that you know to sign up for this. It's not only just for scouts; it's for non-scouts as well. Anyone that wants to come register. You saw the link there, and so it's on the Buffalo Trace website. So sign up, and I hope to see you guys on Saturday morning.
Thank you, Fred. And now I believe we've got in 2021, we're having another national jamboree.
Today I rode Big Zip. How you doing? Yeah.
Hold on, we'll get this to work. There we go.
There.
All right, hold on.
As we're waiting, the 2021 National Jamboree is going to be coming up in July of next year. We are currently accepting applications for registrations for youth and adults to go to the event. It's going to be a week and a half of fun at the summit in West Virginia. There is a limited number of people that can go. We can take 40 total adults and youth to go. Information about the National Jamboree is on our website, including registration links. So that way you can go. The payment information is there as well about when that is due. And it has some links to some other information, so that way you can go and see all about the Jamboree. I encourage anyone that may be interested, and also if you know anyone that may be interested that wants to go to the Jamboree, to reach out to us or check out the website. There's also a great website for the Jamboree that the summit has built that has a lot of cool information, cool videos, and things like that. It's going to be a good time. Registration, assistance, and campership should be available, so we encourage just if you have a scout or if you are interested in going as a youth and adult, please let us know, and we'll try to make that happen if possible. And we will have more information throughout the year about it.
Thanks, Michael. That video is not sharing correctly, but we will post it on our Facebook for everyone.
All right. Luke Schweikert, would you please give us some information about the Canandaigua Lodge of the Order of the Arrow?
Yes, of course. Thank you. So real quick, I'll just start off with introducing myself. I'm Luke Schweikert, and I'm currently the Lodge Chief for Canandaigua Lodge, which is our local lodge charter of the Order of the Arrow. Our advisor is Adam Crone, and I don't know if he was able to make it tonight. And then our staff advisors are Chris Felton and Jamie Wilder. In addition to the four of us, there's 6 youth officers who help run our program year round, and many committee members who are all supported by our adult advisors, who work very hard in making a successful OA program for all the scouts and arrowmen in our council. So the basics, the Order of the Arrow is Scouting's National Honor Society. We recognize scouts based on camping, service, and leadership. At its core, the OA is a service organization, and we give back to scouts through many programs. We host the Rank Up program for Buffalo Trace Council, and we provide staff for many of the council programs throughout the year, including the Spring Camporee, Woods of the Webelos, Resource Camp, and much more. For Cub Scouts, we help out with programs like Parent and Pal, and we can provide crossover ceremonies and Arrow of Light ceremonies as needed. As I mentioned, the OA is designed to develop camping and leadership skills of the members in your troop. Definitely not take them away from your program. We always remind our members that the troop and the that your troop or crew comes first. But I would mention that by serving on our lodge committees, arrowmen take away the skills needed later in life through the experience of leading in the lodge. We have many committees which are all available on the website built for the ideal year of scouting, and you can also find some other resources, including our calendar and stuff like that. There's many ways to be active in the Order of the Arrow. Perhaps most importantly, arrowmen can attend our many events throughout the year. We host a range of events, including those designed for service and for fun, because we know that everybody likes the fun events, and I know plenty of people who like service too. Coming up next is our Summer Fun Fellowship this July, and then we'll be hosting our Fall Fellowship again in September. Again, you can find links to all of our resources on the Ideal Year of Scouting page. And I'd like to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Luke. The Order of the Arrow, of course, sets a wonderful standard of service for us, but the Order of the Arrow is not the only part of scouting that provides service. So I'd like to invite Bill Knoll to come back and tell us about service hours.
Yeah, thank you. In this particular segment, I'm wearing the hat of the Native Trails District Service Hour Chair. But what I'm talking about applies to, even though I'm focused on this, our particular district, Native Trails, this applies to all the other districts. And first of all, scouting was established on some very strong principles that has to do with duty, responsibility, honor, and service. And because of that, our slogan is "Do a Good Turn Daily," and that's part of being a scout. And the benefits of that are obviously, from a personal standpoint, growing as a person, but also the community receives the benefit of these type of projects. But there are some other benefits that that help our district and council, because as we have hours that show they can use them when they go out to present them to businesses to support scouting and some of the good things that we do. And also it shows that the more active units there are and involved in community service, the higher retention rate. So there are those other benefits. Now, in service project or good turn projects or whatever you want to call them are part of the JTE program. I know not all the units use that particular segment for JTE, but on a district level, it is one of our requirements. And for particularly for the Native Trails District, for us to earn our gold level, we have to average 8 hours per registered scout. And if you take that over 2,000 scouts that we have in our council, that's quite a few hours. But I got involved in this this subcommittee, if you will, in 2017. And in 2017, Native Trails District had 8,349 hours, over 33 units reporting with 139 projects. Now that increased in 2018 to 11,840 hours with 42 units reporting and 191 projects. In 2019, we had 13,210 service hours, and that's an increase of 53% over the last couple of years. And so the amount of service projects, in words, what people are doing is of great help. Now, when we did a survey 2 years ago to find out why not all of our units reported service hours, as I said before, in 2017 we had 38, in 2018 we had 42, 2019 we had 30. There's a total of 74 units. So that's fairly low participation, only 30 out of 74. When we did this survey, it turned out that the reason that people didn't turn in their hours, they all said they did hours. Each unit is dedicated to serving and during hours, but they don't report them. And the reasons were, number one, they said they didn't know about the program. And number two, they didn't know how to do it. So this is part of the reason I'm here, is I want to make sure everybody's aware of what a service hour is and how they can go about logging it into the computer system. And if you could just show quickly those two things I sent you. It's just, if you look at those and you go on the website, it'll define what a project is clearly. And also then it gives you the steps of logging in and do it. So you can pretty much log in your projects for less than 10 minutes. And so the other thing I wanted to point out, though, is our participation rate, because we're actually doing fantastic, because we averaged last year 6.38 hours per registered scout. Our goal is to get that up to 8 hours per registered scout, but that's going to take a lot of involvement by a lot of people. And for example, like I said before, we had a participation rate of 41% last year. And the troops did fairly well because they had 78%. The packs only had 13.5%, and the crews had 33%. So that shows we did very well, but we only have 40% participation. So the more units we can get involved, the easier it'll be for us to reach our goal. And again, all this information is available. It tells you how to do it. The only thing you really need is to know your unit identification number to enter into it. And then the other page that Abby has there to tell you what a service projects are. And a lot of people don't realize that service hours aren't just what the scouts do, but if the unit has an activity, they can include all parents and even scout friends that come along. So if it's done as a unit, that everybody's hours would count. Also, if you're a registered scout, and for instance, if you go out and rake the neighbor's yard, that's considered a service project. But all those things can be reported in. Now, all rank requirements that you have the service hours you have to for ranks, those are included as service projects. And the biggest boost we have to get our hours are the Eagle Scout projects, and those are automatically logged in by the council in our program, the service hour program. So I'm encouraging everybody, if you don't know what the program is, look on the website and you have the explanations. And if you don't know how to do it, there's clear instructions there, but Abby would be delighted to help you, as I would, if you have any questions or anything about the service hour recording. So thank you very much for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Bill. Scouts get the most benefit from scouting when they are in units with trained leadership. So I want to invite Dave Hampton to give us information about training.
Good evening, folks. As he said, my name's Dave Hampton. I am the training chairman for Buffalo Trace Council. Baden-Powell had it right that he knew that as leaders, we could not teach the youth how to lead themselves if we did not know how to help them. He knew that training the adults was key for scouting to have the most effect for the youth. And I want to strongly encourage you to participate in every training that you can. Training is not only fun, teaches you about scouting, and builds friendships that can help you better serve the youth that we all serve. We all work as a team, and training helps us understand our place and our part in all of that. Training takes several forms. BSA Online has a huge catalog for you that you can take in the comfort of your home. Roundtables are an important part of different kinds of training and mingling with other leaders. My favorite is the face-to-face training that we offer here in Buffalo Trace Council, and we have a great team to give that training to you. First up tonight is Adam White, the Native Trails Training Chair. He's going to talk about Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills and Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation, and also is the Dean of the University of Scouting. Adam?
Hi, everybody. As Dave said, my name's Adam White. I'm the Native Trails Training Chairman. The three events that I'd like to talk to you about is two that were rescheduled from back in April. That would be the Introduction Outdoor Leadership Skills, which is the second half of our Scoutmaster training course. It's all the physical skills, camping, cooking, pioneering, orienteering, and so on, has been moved to July the 17th through the 19th. The cost on that is $30. It'll be up at Old Bend. We'll have a second course this year for October. And the other course is BALOO, which is our Basic Adult Leadership Outdoor Orientation. That's kind of the camping know-how for Cub Scouting, where you can camp, what you can do, and stuff like that. That's also been scheduled for that same weekend. It's only Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and the 19th. The cost on that's $25 up at Old Bend. The other event that we're working on planning is the University of Scouting, which is a really cool opportunity. About 50% of the training that we offer is BSA offered classes, but the other half is we get to have a lot of fun and come up with a lot of classes that are not traditionally offered. So we've got about 30 some odd classes that we're working on right now, ranging anywhere from youth protection training, Cub leader specific training, totemship, firemanship, CPR training, camp masters training, inclusive scouting, chaplain training. So there's a lot of stuff. Information for that should be coming out end of June, 1st of July. So if you have any questions, reach out to me on any of those three events, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Adam. there's a lot of people that work behind the scenes. Adam is just one, although Adam mostly organizes those trainings. There's a lot of people that work behind the scenes putting on these things so that the adults can have fun, just like the kids. Another one, youth training also takes place within our council. The best first step in youth-centered training offered in our council is called NYLT, also known as National Youth Leadership Training. And here is Algonquian Training Chairman, Chris Patterson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Patterson. I'm an Assistant Scoutmaster with Troop 211 out of Olney, Illinois. I'm also the Algonquian District Training Chair for Buffalo Trace Council. This year, I was given the opportunity to be the course director for NYLT 2020. Some of you may ask, what is NYLT? NYLT is National Youth Leadership Training. It is provided by the Boy Scouts of America to Scouts, Ventures, and Sea Scouts. Typically, the training runs over the course of a week. It can be divided up into 2 weekends if the council so decides. For our course, participants are divided into groups of 6 to 8 as a team. This would mirror a typical patrol back at their home troop. With them, they are assigned a staff member or a troop guide. The troop guide acts as a mentor, a coach, someone to talk to kind of help them out in the first few days. If they work much in the same way a den chief would work with a cub den in a pack. Through the use of outdoor activity and technology, the program that we provide includes patrol games, event planning, communication, team development, teaching, leadership skills, goal setting, problem solving, and other leadership skills. The patrols compete in inter-patrol activity, creating visions of success, setting goals, making plans, problem solving, and other leadership skills. The patrols compete in inter-patrol activity, creating visions of success, setting goals, making plans, listening, problem solving, teaching again, leading, and putting the needs of others first before their own, or servant leadership. The program provides opportunities to make difficult decisions using the tools of the Scout Oath and Law. The EDGE method is used throughout the program. Explain, demonstrate, guide, enable. The program objectives that we as the staff like to see provided to the participants is to have fun. We want them to have fun the whole week. Other objectives or takeaways include developing confidence, developing knowledge, leadership, teaching, motivation, teamworking, sharing ideas, sharing experiences, strengthening relationships between youth and adults, fellowship, and fun. Many of the key course concepts that are represented include planning, problem solving, team development, conflict resolution, and valuing people. If you would like more information on NYLT,
Chris's video got cut off a little bit short. Very simply, NYLT, if you want to help your unit leadership, the youth in your unit that lead, if you want to help them take their unit to the next level, send them to NYLT. They will have fun, learn all kinds of new concepts to help them take their unit to the next level. It's all about them and their skills and teaching them new skills. You can reach out to, you can find the information about the rescheduled NYLT on the website, and Chris's contact information is also there. Next up, the Lincoln Heritage Training Person, Lisa Barber, is here to talk about one of the best gifts you can give yourself as an adult leader, which is a Wood Badge training course. Lisa?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Barber. I am the Lincoln Heritage Training Chair, and I'm here to talk to you today about Wood Badge. Oh my gosh. I will tell you, in 2009, there was somebody who just inspired me. When he came back from the 2009 course, he inspired me to go and take Wood Badge. And it wasn't just him coming back and saying, hey, you really need to go take this course. No, it was what he was bringing back to the unit and actually utilizing. So what is Wood Badge? Wood Badge is learning through the EDGE method with the help of an amazing troop guide. I was actually blessed to be a troop guide for the Fox Patrol in 2017. This is just like your scouts would do in their unit. They would have a troop guide, and they would guide them through when they come into the unit. The troop guide is there to help guide them through the Wood Badge course. Now, what do you learn from Wood Badge? Well, communication skills, valuing people, servant leadership, big one, and finding your vision for your unit and for things outside of scouting. Now, don't forget, it's also about having fun and making those friendships. They last a lifetime. I still talk to my critters, which is the Bobwhite Patrol. I still talk to them all the time. We communicate, we go camping, and if there's something that we have a challenge with, we get together and work it out together. These are skills that are not just for scouting, but they're also for your work and for your personal life. So those goals that you're thinking about planning, Wood Badge can actually help you with some of those goals. Now, let's don't forget about those amazing critters, because we all know that if you keep calm during this time frame, all you have to do is follow a Bob White. Before I leave you, I want to leave you with this little nugget. I had an amazing Scoutmaster who actually asked me to be on the 2017 course. And he gave us all something that if you plant it, it will grow. And it's a little acorn. And that's just exactly what we're doing with our youth today, is if we plant a seed, it's going to grow. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you in August. The dates for Wood Badge course are August 21st to 23rd and September 5th to the 6th. If you want more information, contact Derek Lake. Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa. One of the best gifts that I ever gave myself was spending 6 days at Old Ben for a Wood Badge course. Changed my life. People talk about a full-on experience. There's nothing like it. And I have trouble debating which one was better for me. Both of them are life-changing. Wood Badge changed my life. All that information is also on the website. Cammie Holm is the Buffalo Trace Council Leave No Trace Outdoor Advocate. And here's a video from her to talk about what youth and adults can get out of a Leave No Trace trainer course.
Leave no trace. Boss says always dispose of the evidence.
Wait a minute. Leave no trace is more than just hiding the evidence. maybe you'd be interested in learning what Leave No Trace is really about this July at Old Bend.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Leave No Trace Trainers course will take a deeper dive into the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. Through games, activities, and presentations, participants will learn the skills and ethics of Leave No Trace, as well as techniques for effectively sharing those low-impact techniques with your units. The Leave No Trace concept is one that crosses all boundaries of the recreation spectrum and is applicable for anyone, well, almost anyone, that enjoys spending the time outdoors. With hundreds of thousands of scouts heading outdoors each year across the country, if we could each do something, no matter how simple, to help take care of the recreational resources that we cherish, we'll all benefit. This is a high impact, this is a high energy, hands-on course, both in the classroom and in the field. It's designed for adult leaders and scouts over the age of 14. Again, the training is at Old Bend, July 17th, 18th, and 19th. And all participants will get a piece of Leave No Trace equipment to help hide their dirty work. Well, not your dirty work, but everybody else's dirty work.
Huh. Leave no trace. Who knew? Sure gives new meaning to the words fluff your duff.
Information about Leave No Trace is also on the council website. Don't hesitate to sign up for these programs. There's a lot of people that work very hard to bring these kinds of trainings to you so that you can have fun learning how to make the youth have a better program and have more fun and learn the skills that help them all about scouting. We learn to help the youth that we serve by helping ourselves grow into what we want them to be. Learn something new and show them how it's done. All of these things are also in the compass points. Take a look at that because all that information is in there. Thanks, and see you all on the scouting trail.
Thank you, Dave, and thanks to your team. Well done. The safety of youth and adults that are involved in scouting is vitally important to us. So I want to invite Lee Turpin to share some information and resources regarding risk management.
Just a couple things. Call everyone's attention first off and foremost throughout having an ideal year of scouting. When you have your meetings, have your troop meetings, committee meetings, variety of different things, just remember to Google BSA safety moments. There's a whole list of just a few momentary educational programs with handout resources that you can cover a different safety topic in almost any meeting that you have. We've been calling attention to that for a while. I want to remind everyone of it. Secondarily, as we move toward the potential of reopening up and the possibility of having physical meetings once again, understand that there are several layers of this will be occurring. First of all, what the government wishes to happen, what the CDC wishes to happen, the different variety of sources for information. But don't forget to contact your charter organization partners as to what they're doing within their buildings and their meeting space that they are in control of. We just don't want to say we're going to start having a meeting again next Tuesday night and then get there to find out that they're not really ready for having public inside that property again, and may not even have the site prepared with sanitary facilities even. Some of these buildings may have been not used for several months at that point in time. So make sure we check in with our charter organization partners. A lot of different things that can be done in having physical meetings as we get back together is following just simple social distancing guidelines. And maybe having some outdoor activities to start, or meetings even outside as the weather permits. But also making sure that scouts bring their own personal hand sanitizer, so they're not sharing a communal hand sanitizer between them, where the exterior of the container could be a carrier for a virus. Making sure that everyone has some type of availability of a mask to be worn within the activities as well. Reminding everyone of just making sure good hand washing techniques. Sometimes we tend to focus on just one thing and not the other. For example, been a lot of focus and a lot of discussion recently on masks and a little bit less discussion on hand hygiene and hand sanitizer, which is equally, if not more important. So making sure that we remind people often about what we're trying to accomplish with social distancing and hygiene in these arenas. This will most certainly impact as we head into camping season with the summer. Most certainly impact what properties are available. I know even here within Indiana, the state DNR is expecting a really heavy camping season as things open up, and making sure that if you do move into that arena, that you're prepared for facilities and that you make reservations and pay attention to deadlines. Scouting events, as they open back up, could have shorter reservation deadlines that we need to pay attention to and get information out on. So a lot of information will come flowing very, very quickly, and things could go from being not very busy to very busy all of a sudden. And just to make sure we're taking the time to plan our activities and do them safely, and make sure we continue to educate ourselves properly, as we always do, on the planning side of safety and making sure we know what we're doing.
Thank you, Lee. Excellent points. Really good advice. Taking time in advance to review safety, to review risks it's a lot less stressful and much more productive than trying to clean up afterwards. So thank you, Lee. Do we have any questions that we need to answer?
Our staff has been monitoring the chat box. So did you guys see any questions that you thought needed to be answered?
We've been taking care of the Zoom chat box, and we've seen nothing pop up on questions. But if somebody does have a question, now's the time to ask it. You need to unmute yourself, and you're going to have a couple second delay. So if there is a question at all from anybody in the audience, now's the open time period for that to happen. Just another reminder to you, we talked extensively about the website being the site for people to visit for current information. About a week ago, or just last week, we sent out the May newsletter. We sent it out by mass email. In some cases, the mass email might have gone to a spam filter or a junk filter for you. But I do think that it's important for you to double check and try and track that down in your email system. Tell your fellow leaders in your unit as well, and also check it out on the website.
I do see one question about NYLT, whether that is happening, and it is being postponed.
And alternative dates have been set for August, and that will be updated on the council web pages in different spots. That decision was just made in the last 24 hours. So please give us a little bit of patience to get some things reset. If someone has made payments, our staff will be in contact with those people that have made payments to see if they would like to transfer to the alternative dates or if they would request a refund. So we are happy to provide a refund for anybody that made any payments on NYLT.
All right.
I also see somebody asking if there's a contact list of the presenters on the website. We don't have a comprehensive list of all the volunteers who participated today, but if you have questions, reach out to your district professional. We're happy to help or get you to the volunteer chairperson who can help you. And I would definitely encourage you to go to buffalotracecouncil.org. Under resources, there's a page dedicated to Ideal Year of Scouting. You'll find all these resources we've talked about there, as well as opportunities from other BSA councils that your scouts can participate in and community organizations. There's also things like the Journey to Excellence scorecards and Cub Scout and Scouts BSA Guides to Success to help you plan your ideal year of scouting.
Thanks, Abby. What we do in scouting is important, and how we do what we do in scouting is important, but it is also vitally important that we remind ourselves as to why we do this. I invite you to watch this video.
Now the road is long, and that's where I belong. It's the road less traveled. I will find my way, whatever come what may, till I have my day in the sun.
We get to do all these cool opportunities. Like we get to go hiking, we get to like go out and do all these like extreme adventure kind of things that a lot of people don't expect girls to be interested in.
What I like about Boy Scouts is being outside and being able to like get away from the city.
Now there's trouble ahead, but I wouldn't change a thing. Trouble aside, my strife. There are words unsaid, never rhymed or read. Fare thee well on the road of life.
I understood that when I go to this program, I'd be having fun, I'd be going outdoors, I'd be seeing different people from all around the country.
You really get to experience something that you never ever would get to experience anywhere else.
I really like activities like biking, camping, kayaking.
I love scouting because you always get to go outdoors, go camping, and have a lot of fun with your friends and family.
It's just an amazing experience.
It's been really fun.
Now there's trouble ahead, but I wouldn't change a thing. Trouble aside, my strife. There are words unsaid, never rhymed or read. Fare thee well on the road of life. Fare thee well, Godspeed and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, for your participation in our Ideal Year of Scouting virtual conference. I wish you all a good night and safe and amazing scouting. So have a great evening and go get them. Scouting continues.
Thanks. Bye.